Well, after a long, long wait, we have Badger football with fans in the stands just days away as Paul Chryst and the Wisconsin Badgers open up the 2021 season this Saturday against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Kickoff set for 11 a.m. Jumping right into the deep end of the pool with the Big Ten matchup in what is one of the more challenging-looking schedules we have seen in a long time. We'll catch up with one of the new faces on Coach Chryst's staff, running back coach Gary Brown. We'll also check in with senior cornerback Caesar Williams, one of the leaders of the defense, especially the secondary, and we'll have our conversation with head coach Paul Chryst. All coming up on this edition of the Badger Sports Report.
Play fake Mertz, back to Brill, lines up. He's a deep right side. DK got it. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Met behind the line of scrimmage and thrown down by Leo Chanel. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Kendrick Pryor. Mertz floats it deep left side. Dropped it in the bucket. There is a big, big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com.
When you've been injured, you need the hometown team on your side. Trust us to get you back in the game. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Hard work, sweat, knowledge in your own two hands. These are the tools that build Wisconsin. Leave your mark on the real world with zero debt and higher pay. All from day one. It's time to do work that works for you. Learn more at buildingwisconsintogether.com.
On this game day, Good Foods Guacamole would like to salute all you players, no matter what you seem to be playing. You, sir, are a winner. You, ma'am, triumphant, and thumbs up to whatever it is you're doing. So let's hoist a guac-laden chip to all you players out there. Good Foods Guac, made from the freshest avocado and the cleanest ingredients. So here's to all the players and whatever game it is they're trying to play. Game day is Guac Day. Good Foods Guac.
Injured? You need a team you can trust. Call Gruber Law Offices today, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
Yeah, I think part of the problem last year is it was kind of hard to get into a rhythm. I mean, everybody had to deal with the same stuff with COVID, so it's certainly not an excuse, but just going into this fall camp, the biggest thing was just getting a rhythm and just getting a lot of chemistry between the guys that are playing together, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far.
I think we had a great camp, not just me, I think the whole team has defense, offense. I think the energy was good. I think we had a really, really good competitive week where we were just hitting, grinding. So I think we're really prepared.
Definitely expecting us to have another dominant defense this year. You know, that's pretty much the standard here so far with this program is having a dominant, fast defense, and you know, we look forward to continuing that this year.
I think sky's the limit. You know, if we can control the things we can control, just get better every day, and I like the way we're heading.
Finally, it's here, the start of a Badgers football season, and we'll say in advance, welcome back to fans. I know they're very eager to come back to Camp Randall Stadium. Been a long time, November of 2019, the last time the Badger football players played in front of a home crowd, first time period, obviously, since the Rose Bowl. Paul, I know what I just said. You guys are concerned about getting better today than you were yesterday and going through camp and all of that, but you've had the nice, hot, humid weather. They've had some good testers for these guys. For the most part, have you been able to see what you have needed to see to get your team ready for game one?
I believe we have, and I've appreciated the way that the players have approached camp and really all the different work necessary to get yourself prepared for camp. And there's a number of positions that, quite honestly, really didn't know who really was even in that pool of players. Running back, for existence, you had a number of running backs that didn't quite know how that was going to play out, but I think camp certainly provided answers for that. And I think that we found some depth at the defensive line position, and I think there's a number of other positions that I think through kind of the growth and development of all the players, I think the groups got better because there was competition, and I think that is always good for your team.
You never want to see guys get banged up, but that's the nature of things, especially in training camp. Offensive line, there was some mixing and matching. Yet when that happens, there's opportunity. Did you get a good evaluation of maybe some younger guys working with the first group when they've needed to?
You did get that, and even a couple of the younger guys that we were really excited about. Tanner Bordellini's one of them, and he missed some time, and unfortunately all of them are on their way back and recovering, and we'll get them back sooner than later. But we had 3 true freshmen that got a ton of work, and there is something to be said about when we need you to go, and you've got to learn it, and there is kind of it's not necessarily easy. You get thrown in, but I was impressed with the way they kind of just kept working and going at it, and I think we had a couple other positions do the same thing, and I think because of that they do force themselves to kind of boy, I better get this down, and I think that's been helpful for us.
A couple of minutes ago you mentioned the running back group, and group seems to be the right word. Ches Malusi, the transfer from Clemson, Isaac Garendo, knock on wood he can stay healthy, Braylon Allen, Jalen Berger. I could keep going, but I guess those are the 4 that might come to mind right away.
No, I think those are definitely the 4, and the other one I'd add in there, Brady Shippers had a really good camp, and a guy that really at this point probably needs the least amount of work or reps, because he's kind of been in that room the longest and has the most experience, and yet it's been great having Ches here, and I think he's done a nice job of kind of elevating really the whole group in many ways, and Braylon, the true freshman coming in, but I think he's certainly got himself acclimated to, and you see some of his raw talent and ability come through, and I think that's also helped force Jalen to keep working, and played games last year but not overly experienced, right? And so I think this has been a really beneficial, and you said it, Isaac Grendel's a guy that we've always been really excited about, and I think being able to see him practice every day, and with that practice comes kind of that confidence in the position, and I've really been excited what he's done this fall camp.
All right, a couple of minutes in, now we'll get to the quarterbacks. And I say quarterbacks plural because everybody focuses on Graham Mertz, but again, it seems like the room is good. Just from our perspective watching, it looks like Chase Wolf has maybe ramped things up a little bit. Is that fair?
I think that's very accurate. And the room I've enjoyed working with, and I think once again, competition within rooms can be beneficial, and yet I've always thought the ultimate competitions with yourself, but it's always good to be pushing each other, and I think Chase has had a heck of a camp, and I think that he certainly knows and sees the game. He's got experience, and I think we spent a lot of time talking about the experiences that Graham had, but Chase got some valuable experiences last year, ones that he did some really good things in, and some that are really good learning opportunities, and so I think that resonates to him, and I think there are different styles of quarterbacks in some ways. It's not like you have to do a whole different type of an offense for one or the other, but I've been very pleased with the way they've both done it. And Danny Vandenboom is a guy that knew going in wasn't going to get as many reps, but I think when he's had his reps, he's done a nice job with it.
And defense, you mentioned maybe some more depth on the defensive line. It seems like guys like Matt Henningsen, Keanu Benton are really establishing not just productivity but leadership roles, and obviously guys like Fayon Hicks, Caesar Williams in the back end. again, keep going, but you've got some good experience coming back.
We really do, and I think it's been fun with the defensive line. You do see, I think Henny and Keanu have truly emerged as not just leaders for the defensive line or for the defense, for the team. And yet I also think that Ross has done a great job. Ross Kalagi, our D-line coach, has done a great job of kind of developing, the next wave of guys, and I think kind of getting a really good mindset going with that group. And we do have a number of players, in the secondary. We've got a lot of guys coming back that really everyone will know. Heck, even the ones that were in the stands in 2019, were familiar with and seeing, Scott Nelson. And I know Scott was hurt that year, but they know of Scott Nelson and Colin Wilder and Caesar Williams. And Fan's been a tremendous leader, I think, once again, certainly for that group, for our team. And we've got depth and experience at linebackers. And so I'm excited about the older guys and the guys that have come back. I think they've done a really nice job of, one, understanding that they are in a leadership position, but also the way that they're approaching it and the way they're working is great examples of how to go about it, and they're also using their voices.
And now they get the reward coming up in a matter of days as the Badgers open up here at Camp Randall Stadium against Penn State. Kickoff set for 11 o'clock. Stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with our first edition this season of the Badger Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.
If I'm on top of them, I don't have to be running full speed. I could be under control. I'm on top. I could be here. Now, if I get beat off the line, I gotta go.
Well, we thought we'd use this show to continue to introduce you to some of the newer faces on the coaching staff. Obviously, Hank Poteet coaching the cornerbacks, and Gary Brown now in charge of the running backs room at the University of Wisconsin. A belated welcome, Coach, to you. I know, talking to Coach Chryst back during spring ball, and I'll just say he's raving about you. He loves you, what you're bringing. How would you describe your coaching approach, your personality with the guys in your room?
Well, I think it's pretty much the way I have been coached. I've had a lot of great coaches in my life, and I've tried to take a lot of things that they have taught me, not only the X's and O's, but how to talk to people, how to treat people, how to help people learn, all those things. So I think I'm a piece of every coach I've ever had.
It's a relationship business, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I really believe that the players don't really care about what you know until they know you care about them. So that's really important to me.
And that exists in the NFL too, because we hear it a lot in the college world, but in your time coaching with the Dallas Cowboys,
yes,
the relationships, that matters even on that stage.
Absolutely, right? Because of the high stakes and all the pressure. Those players are under tremendous pressure to perform every day. And if they think that the player or the coach is just there to ride their back and try to yell at them and scream at them all day, you really don't get much out of them. As soon as they know that you care about them off the field, then they'll go out there and fight for you all day long.
What were some of the things that you learned working with the guys? Obviously, you got more coming with fall camp, but going back to the spring, what did you learn about that group of running backs you have?
Well, I learned that they're a young group, very hungry to be good. They want to learn. They want to be that sponge. They want to take everything in. Very excited about coaching this group. It's an energizing type thing because they're such a group that they really, they know stuff, but they don't know much. But it's going to be a great situation for me. It gives me a lot of energy.
It's interesting you say that because we talked about some of the common threads between college and the NFL. But is it accurate to say that you can mold a little bit more at this level the player, because it is a group that in many cases, there's not a ton of game reps out there.
Right.
So there's something about that that's intriguing.
Absolutely. Like you said, you can mold them any way you want them because they're so young and they don't have a lot of game experience. So they're really waiting for you to help them get better. And I just love the challenge. I love the fact that I have an opportunity to coach at a place like this with the running back tradition. And we got some good ones that are going to be pretty good. So I'm looking forward to it.
Some of the older guys in the room, regardless of how much they've played, they're familiar with JT, Jonathan Taylor. But in your case, with the Cowboys, coaching professional ball, you're around a lot of real good ones. We saw Ezekiel Elliott in his college days, but beyond his great talent, what else is there that maybe you can share with your guys here?
Well, I think for Zeke, it was more, it was like a burning desire to be great on and off the field, more so where he wanted to be like a second quarterback. He wanted to know everything. He wanted to know every front. He wanted to know every blitz. He wanted to know every pass protection. He wanted to know every pass route. So that was a really, really encouraging thing for me to be around a guy like that wants to be great in that regard. So that's on top of that, when you add that talent to that type of desire to be great, it was a wonderful thing.
That's the key to if somebody can be an every down back, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot of guys in the room, and maybe they can fill certain roles, but that's what you need. Not just what my job is, but the other 10, how it works.
Because you could see Zeke at sometimes helping Dak. Hey, here comes the pressure. Let's move the mic, or whatever the case may be. And it was just a testament to him wanting to understand the whole offense, just not what the running back was doing.
Being in college again is fun, isn't it?
Absolutely,
in a college
fun.
environment.
Absolutely, it's been a great time for me so far. I'm looking forward to seeing this place packed. Everybody's been telling me about it, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Now, you didn't know Coach Chryst before you arrived here, right? But there was a common thread, or is a common thread, in Jason Garrett, right?
Yes.
Who Paul knows. So
yeah.
I'd imagine you got a little bit of a scouting report on how he does things.
Yeah. Well, him, Jason Garrett, Travis Frederick.
Sure.
He's another guy that helped me out. Another running back coach that he and I we both worked with. He coached me, and Coach Chryst actually coached with him. So he knew we knew each other that way. So it's been a great deal.
It seems like they've always stressed it here. It seems like there's a good camaraderie. You always want it with players, but among the coaches too, on the offensive side of the ball. It seems like you got to know these guys and you worked well together from the very beginning.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been a great experience. They've welcomed me with open arms, and I just want to live up to the standard that they've set and help us win a bunch of games.
All right, he's a good one. Gary Brown, running backs coach at the University of Wisconsin. Stay with us. We have much more to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
Compeer Financial has always been there for our clients and communities in any situation. And our support continues today as our clients work relentlessly to feed, clothe, and fuel the world. Compeer is proud to continue our strong commitment to our clients, the rural communities where they live, and to agriculture. We're here to help meet the financial needs of rural America, and we'll navigate through this together.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Badgers defense has been good for a long time, and it's been good at every level, right? Defensive line, linebackers, and in the secondary. Got a big part of that secondary with us right now, a very important part of the cornerback room. Caesar Williams joins us now, and Caesar, we had a chance to visit with your new position coach, Hank Boteat. When you have a guy like him and with Coach Leonard specifically, who have played in the NFL for a long time, is there just an instant credibility when guys like that walk in the room? If they're going to say, you always listen to your coaches, but especially guys like that who have been at that level.
Oh yeah, for sure. When I was a freshman and I heard that Coach Leonard was coming to come coach us and be our defensive coordinator, be our cornerbacks coach, and then later on be our defensive coordinator. It was kind of like, I was kind of in shock because the first memory that came to heart in mind was I used to play with this guy on Madden. And now that I'm finna be coached by him, it's just like, now I just have to be a sponge and I can be as great as him and play in the NFL as long as he is.
What makes those guys, I mean, obviously you had Coach Poteet in the spring, working with them now, obviously. But what makes a guy like him and Coach Leonard so good at what they do?
What makes them so good at what they do is, you know, teaching players how to be consistent and how to find ways to get better. You know, they weren't the most athletic guys. They weren't the guys that always, you know, were just given a chance like a first rounder. You know, they always had to work. And so I think with them, you know, you get out what you put in. And whether that's field work, film study, off the field issues, on the field issues, you know, they teach you how to handle everything in a professional manner.
I get the impression you and Fayon really embrace that chance of being that extension of Coach Poteet. Right?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I mean, Coach Poteet hits on it a lot. You know, how do you want to be? Do you want to be a dog? And what it takes to be a dog. And I'm just being a sponge and relaying his message through my actions and letting my actions, you know, let the group see my actions and hold everybody up to a certain standard.
I want to circle back to where you're talking about the dog mentality. I asked Coach Poteet what that meant, and I would, you know, you want to have it across the board, but at your position, you really have to have it, right? Because you're going to be the guy isolated against the really talented receiver, whoever that might be, which means short memory, which means being aggressive. That's the dog mentality. Right?
Oh yeah, and dog mentality also means like, I'm going to take what's on your plate, you know. My plate might be full, but I need a to-go box. And I'm going to take some more with me on the way home. So I kind of see that as the dog mentality, you know, no matter who's in front of you, I don't care what your name is. I don't care what your logo is. I'm going to be a dog and make you – I'm going to earn my respect this game.
You're going to face really good receivers week in and week out, but you probably do day in and day out, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's pretty good receivers on this Badger team, right?
Oh, yeah. I think, me personally, you know, I get asked a lot, you know, who is the best receiver that you faced? And it's not one that just, you know, instantly pops up to my head, but I think, you know, I do get most of my challenges and, you know, I have the most problems against our receivers in practice. And that's been the same since the same 4 years that I've been here, 5 years I've been here. I had our most difficulty guarding receivers in practice, and I think it makes it a lot easier for me in the game. And when people ask me that question, that's why it's hard for me to give them an answer, because the game is just so much easier.
Right, and there's always the back and forth too, right? I mean, before we started rolling, KP, Henry Pryor. I mean, but that's the part of it, right? That's the fun of the competition. You're going to get yours at times. He might get his maybe now and then. But that's what makes both of you guys better, right?
Yes, sir. You know, and yeah, even against the 2019 game against Minnesota for us to advance to the Big Ten championship, I think I made a couple plays on the sideline, and KP was like, you know why he did that? Because he faces the best receivers in practice every day. So, you know, they're going to let it be known, but at the same time, we're going to get ours as a unit in practice every day, because we want to dominate that group as well as anybody else that we face.
So it makes these guys so much fun to watch. Appreciate your time, man. Have a great year.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Badgers cornerback Caesar Williams. Stay with us. We'll have more to come right after this.
Hard work, sweat, knowledge in your own two hands. These are the tools that build Wisconsin. Leave your mark on the real world with zero debt and higher pay. All from day one. It's time to do work that works for you. Learn more at buildingwisconsintogether.com.
On this game day, Good Foods Guacamole would like to salute all you players, no matter what you seem to be playing. You, sir, are a winner. You, ma'am, triumphant, and thumbs up to whatever it is you're doing. So let's hoist a guac-laden chip to all you players out there. Good Foods Guac, made from the freshest avocado and the cleanest ingredients. So here's to all the players and whatever game it is they're trying to play. Game day is Guac Day. Good Foods Guac.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com.
Our thanks to running backs coach Gary Brown, cornerback Caesar Williams, and of course head coach Paul Chryst as we help try to get you ready for the season opener coming up on Saturday morning, an 11 a.m. kick, the Badgers and the Penn State Nittany Lions. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
This has been a presentation from Learfield.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.